we are going to talk about Gradle. Gradle is a build tool. We have build tools available in the market like Ant, Maven, which are actually in the market for a long time. And Gradle is introduced 8 years, 7-8 years back, and it is becoming more famous, more popular, more effective, more uh, standardized in terms of giving more efficient coding for developers. So Gradle provides dependency management which is similar to Ant and Maven. So the difference is in Ant, when you have the dependency management, you have to explicitly download those dependencies into your Ant repository, and then you can use them part of your build process. And in Ant, there is an advanced version where we can just have the dependency management with the dependency information such as the archive or dependent library you want to download, which version you want to download, and for which scope you are downloading the dependency. So we have the default scope, compile scope, test scope, runtime, and provider scope. All these dependency managements are supported by Gradle. So what exactly Gradle does is, when you have the dependency management, you can simply write in a single line, comparing to Maven where you have to write 5 lines of code, 5 lines of the script to have the dependency management. So let's take one example where you want to have the dependency for OJDBC. So for Maven, when you want to have a OJDBC dependency, what exactly you are doing? So you go for the dependencies. Inside the dependencies you have the dependency, and in the dependency you can have the actual the package, that is com.oracle. So and so package, and then you need to have the group ID. After the group ID you have the version information, and then you have the scope information. But if you are writing the Gradle, within the single line you can say the package ID, group ID, and the version number. So you are not writing in a structured format which is an XML based format in Groovy comparing to Ant or Maven. So that is the major advantage with Groovy we have, because Groovy uses a domain specific language that is written on Groovy. Gradle uses domain specific language that is written on Groovy. So as I said, Gradle is not at all using XML. It is using its own built-in DSL, and that is written on Groovy language. So as we already talked, the main advantage we are getting with Groovy based domain specific languages or Gradle scripts is mainly writing the smaller scripts and smaller and concise build scripts that gives you complete picture about what exactly you are writing and why you are writing, and your Gradle build scripts or build executor understands this language and it can run the build. So if there is a complex project, using Gradle, which is on DSL based on Groovy, gives you more faster build scripts compilation, build scripts development, build scripts execution, comparing to other build tools such as Ant and Maven. So for add we have build.xml file, for Maven we have pom.xml file. In the same way we have build.gradle file for Gradle. So in build.gradle you can have all the information such as the artifact ID which you are going to generate, and then we have the plugins information, we have the dependency information, and the output directory or artifactory information as well. So what is the artifact you are going to generate? Are you going to generate a Java archive file or a web archive file or enterprise archive file? All this information is defined in build.gradle file. So let's look at one of the build.gradle file which is already existed in our file system. So go to Gradle project, and here you can find build.gradle, which is a property file, and when you open this property file you can see the plugins. So as of now we are just using a Java plugin. In case if you want to use more plugins here, such as you want to run a Sonar Cube from Gradle, you can have a plugin for Sonar Cube in the way we have for Java. So you can directly write id :sonar cube. That will give you the future to run the Sonar Cube. And then we have the repositories. So repositories is similar to the Maven Central. So when you are actually downloading the dependent jars, all those dependent jars are stored in Gradle repository or Gradle cache, and next time when you want to use the same dependencies, same jar file, so Gradle will actually look in the local cache. If the dependency is available in the local cache, it will not go to the net to download those repositories. Rather it will use the dependency, or it will use the library from the local cache. So in case if first time you are running the Gradle, then you don't have any local class path or local libraries available. In such case, Gradle will pull the libraries from the net and put them in the cache. So that cache can be used further. And we talked about dependencies as well. So if you look at the dependency, you can see that at compilation time we are going to use jar file, and the version of the give jar file we are using is 23.0. and for test compile we are using JUnit framework. So in our case we are using JUnit 4.1.2 version. So if you want to write the same script in your pom.xml, then you have to write in a formal way, such as I can show you exactly what we write here. One is dependencies, and then we can have dependency, and then we can have the project ID, and group ID, version, and scope. So if you look at this, actually one line of this particular script we are writing in 6 lines in Maven. So same is the case with the AND. So we are actually reducing the complexity of build scripts compilation, build scripts development in Gradle comparing to Maven or and. So 6 lines of code we can write in a single line, or rather 5 lines of code we are writing in a single line, which is giving the complete picture about what is the package we are going to download, we are going to use as a dependency, what is the version of the package, and the scope of the package. So this information we are actually writing in a single line in Gradle. This is the advantage of Gradle comparing to other build tools such as and Maven. So as we already talked about, so Gradle has its own properties file, which is build.gradle, that is similar to pom.xml in Maven and build.xml in and.